All right, guys, we're back. AWC episode 15. We're here. We'd actually interview the man behind the AWC TV, Coach Tramayne, get his feel for a little bit of feel for his wrestling history, and then just kind of talk how wrestling TV came to be. So for starters, Coach Tramayne, you want to tell our audience how you got started in wrestling before you heard about us?
Sure. Well, I briefly wrestled in high school in South Carolina. Wrestling wasn't really big at the youth level there.
Mm-hmm.
So we first got introduced to wrestling in high school by Coach Ron Donlick. So he kind of picked a few of us up and introduced us to the sport and kind of got our wrestling juices flowing. I was a okay wrestler. My main sport was really basketball. But me being a military brat moving around, wrestling was just always something that I could just jump into without worrying about tryouts and things of that nature. So me and my cousin Herman Lamont, we just started wrestling. We had one guy that we used to look up to, actually a few, Shelton Benjamin, who actually went on to wrestle with Minnesota.
Oh wow! Okay.
So he wrestled for our high school, Troy Elmore, Dante Ferry, a few other local wrestling legends that started out in high school, ended up being pretty successful. So even though I didn't have a long wrestling background, a lot of those basic moves stuck with me all the way through the military, just drilling those things over and over again. So when we moved here, started TJ and Reggie up in football, and they was just all excited about football.
Yeah.
Then I see the flyer come in from Lakeland with
Flyers,
the wrestling club, and I'm just like, we had just moved here from Jacksonville, Florida, and we didn't see anything about wrestling there. It was really big baseball while we were there. So when I saw the flyer, I was like, okay, yeah, guys, if you want to play football, you have to wrestle until 8th grade at a minimum, because it's going to just make you a better athlete, technique-wise, and then, develop some grit. Excuse me. So that's what we did. So the first year was a pretty good experience for TJ. He's experienced some marginal success there. Went 2-0 at the first state tournament, but really I think it was just nerves. He was just nervous. A couple kids he went up against, he definitely could have beat. He was just a little nervous with all the lights. Reggie, we kind of took it slow. He spent the first year kicking, screaming, and crying. And I was like, dude, you're not going to be able to keep this up. But he came back around and stuck with it, man. So, we've been with the program. I don't know if we started, was it 2016 or somewhere around that time?
It could be. I remember the first year was, I remember you guys coming along your first year with a lot of tears, a lot of athletic ability. It took some time to, develop some of that composure, right? And some of that, the ability was there. It's just kind of learning the different positions.
Yeah.
And I think your second year as a TJ ended up going to the state finals, right?
Yeah.
Year 2. And then it was that third year, I think, that Tyrez and Gabe were in the same bracket. They ended up medaling at states, and then Tyrez went on to he took first at freestyle and Greco states.
Yeah. So it's
so this would have been, I think, 4 years.
4 years. So time is just going by fast, But we've enjoyed, the All Inter Wrestling Club. They've learned a lot, and pretty successful from it right now. But yeah, so that's kind of like my history with it. Just been plugging in, trying to get them better. Plugging in different resources, different camps, and like I said, freestyle, Greco.
You certainly have a wide range of strong wrestling friends.
Yeah.
You got Cornell, who provides you some good feedback. You got Perlers that keep up with you guys. I mean, from that first year of kids that had some success, but had some tears. They've evolved so fast.
Yeah.
What are the biggest things that you see changing since they started wrestling, both on and off the mat?
Well, one of the things that stands out to me is their disability to take losses now. They're super competitive. Still a work in progress, but they've matured as far as learning how to deal with, some of that adversity. You can see their progress in other sports. Other sports come way easier to them, just because of what we do in the wrestling room. The workouts, the constant drilling. Football is almost like a day off for them.
Right.
So really, I just see him growing athletically, competitively. So that's one of the biggest things that I see from him. It's just being able to handle adversity.
Yeah.
So try to get the crybaby out of him early on. That's why I signed up for wrestling.
It's a tough sport, and it's you're one-on-one.
Yeah.
Walk off that mat, especially as competitive as you guys are.
Mm-hmm.
You walk off the mat at it just feels terrible after a loss.
Yeah, I can remember one time just talking to them when we first started about wrestling, and I was telling them, I said, "Hey, man, this sport right here it's okay to take a loss. Just trying to get him to understand that it's a little bit different than all the other sports that you've been involved with." And then he said, "Dad, so you're telling me I should be comfortable losing?" He's like, I can't accept being comfortable losing.
Right.
It kind of made me like, well, yeah, you got a point there, but it's just a little bit different,
Yeah.
So
it's funny. We early on in the season, that was one of the things we talked about. Is, hey, we're going to go chase some losses.
Yeah.
Some of you won't have any, but we're still going to go find. We're going to go try and find some.
Yeah.
You guys, a few other families, just all over the place. I felt like we were all over almost the entire East Coast.
Yeah.
At one point, we were just everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. I told him you got to find tough competition where you have to rely a little bit more on your technique more so than your athleticism, because pretty much that gets even out the older you get. So I think they hold their own pretty much wherever they travel to. Still got some things to work on, but it's constantly trying to stay in that, on the mat and get that experience from coaches like yourself and Matt and Bruce. You guys step in when I'm over coaching and, get them to a different level.
It's tough. I've went through those with with Aiden when he was younger.
Yeah.
At some point you got to let go and say what's best for the kid.
Yeah.
I've had to rely on other coaches too in matches where it's my kid. And I know what I want to do, but what do you guys think?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
that feedback that the camaraderie we have among the coaches, where we can all kind of step in, help each other out, I think helps tremendously.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I'm just like, hey, Matt, Bruce, you got him. I'm just going to sit here and record and cheerlead. I end up yelling over you guys anyway, but you
can hear it in the video.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be an echo for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine. I think after watching these videos, and doing these videos, it's kind of been a little eye-opening. You start to learn a little bit more about the kids. I never knew how little they heard from us yelling.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it kind of it reminds me of some of the stuff that Perler puts out there. It says, your kids aren't on a remote control. Mm-hmm. You can't just holler out a move and then do it. Give them specific things to look for.
Yeah.
And after hearing, the kids talk on these videos, they really can't hear us. So why am I yelling so much? Just probably be very specific things that we'll call out.
Yeah.
I think it was your boys too that said something about they wouldn't mind having some hand signals or something like that.
Yeah.
Those are all things that's very intuitive, especially for young kids and elementary and middle school kids thinking about what can we do better, and that's kind of everything that embodies what we're trying to do in our program.
Yeah, I think the screaming and yelling just really adds to the anxiety. You know? thinking about it, it's like, oh, I got fans screaming, I got the coach screaming.
Yeah.
It really takes away from their focus. So I think hand signals and different gestures would be kind of useful for them,
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. So thinking about these videos, I think back to March, a couple weeks after States was canceled, we were having an e-meeting, or boards were exchanging ideas of what we could do to keep kids active with the current situation. And you kind of threw out the idea, what if we did some Zoom interviews? And it's now evolved into, this is episode 15 of AWC TV. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I didn't know how it was going to work out, but I'm curious to see where did that idea come from, and what are your thoughts on how this thing has progressed?
Yeah. So, just sitting around, just brainstorming of ways to be, capture or take advantage of this time that we're kind of just sitting idle, and also to continue, our digital footprint as the Arlington Wrestling Club brand, and it's getting in front of our families and a lot of our fans, and staying relevant. Then also as a way to provide, kind of like a digital historic imprint of Arlington Wrestling Club, just so people can go back years later and take a look at some of the videos that we might have done, some of the interviews that we had with some of the founders. I think will really be beneficial 20 years from now, so that was just kind of my thought process of how do we kind of keep this thing going, even though we're not able to be in contact with one another on a daily or weekly basis.
Right.
So just to see where it is, just like, wow, it started out with just, Rez, TJ, and Gabe as our kind of test dummies, and just to see it kind of continuously grow by having, like you say, the founders on there, the Coach Simpson, some of Arlington Wrestling Club alumni tell their story, so it's just a good thing, and hopefully even when the season starts and we get back to normal, we can still continue these type interviews, maybe like after a big tournament, or interviewing some of my kids about some of the matches that they might have had. So I'm really happy to see how it kind of turned out for Arlington Wrestling Club TV. Yeah,
sure. And the YouTube, putting on YouTube, our YouTube channel, when you asked about that, I had forgotten about it.
Yeah.
And you could see how, when you look at those videos, you can see how old those videos were. We used to use those back in the day just to kind of keep track of how the kids were, go back and watch matches and keep up with it. Kind of revive that program for us as well, and actually gives kids a way to watch it, since most of them aren't on Facebook.
Yeah. And I speaking of kids, I really hope that they are taking advantage of viewing at least some of the content that we're putting out there.
Yeah, they were definitely getting some views, I can tell you that.
Yeah,
it's Heflin's might be the most popular video.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good one.
Coach Simpson's a very close second. They're up to 70 plus views or something like that.
Nice. Yeah. So yeah, hopefully, like I said, they're taking advantage of it and learning from it as best as they can, and we can keep it going for some years to come.
Yeah, we got one more coming up, hopefully next week, with one of our original coaches. So that should be interesting to get his perspective as well.
Yeah. Maybe we might be able to get a couple, All-Americans or celebrity, wrestlers out there to come tune in with us and do a round table or something of that nature.
I don't know. It'd be pretty cool if we got the money coach on.
Oh, yeah.
He likes to do these a lot. I've seen his. Yeah,
I'm going to have to call the money coach when we get off of here. Yeah, I spoke to him today. He's, waiting to get back on the mat as well.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's interesting when you think about, a lot of the school programs are kind of shut down, trying to do what they can within the guidelines and, some level of workout. These for-profit programs are just booming.
Oh yeah.
Hurler and Boston and Cleveland. I mean, those are the two closest to us.
Yeah.
Packed. Every camp packed.
Yeah.
There's something to it. I think there's a lot of people itching to get back on the mat. We're gonna find out real quick who's been working out when we get.
Yeah. Yeah. Be a lot of rusty kids out there.
For sure.
I think that's probably most sports, unless you got guys like mine that's just addicted to working out.
So you guys have a following now. I mean, every time you put a picture up online, your crew gets bigger.
Yeah.
So whatever you guys are doing, it's contagious. Everybody wants to
I
follow
believe
what you guys are doing.
parents and kids just want to get out of the house and have some type of sense of normalcy and get away from Fortnite for a little while.
Yeah.
And so a lot of these workouts and drills that we're doing allows them to have some regular routine, weekly routine, just in case things do get back to normal. If not, they're just going to all be some beasts by the time they get to 9th, 10th grade.
For sure.
From all these workouts.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I've seen different states starts to open combat sports back up, and what's it? TWSWA football has some limited schedule or offering.
Yeah.
So I think people are being cautious, but I think there'll be something.
Yeah, it'll be something
this winter. Just not quite sure what that is yet. Just be flexible.
Yeah. We'll see soon. Like you said, I believe football will probably go on as scheduled here, especially in Tennessee anyway.
Well, Alabama just announced they're going full force.
Yeah, and I'm sure Mississippi will do the same.
Yeah.
We love our
football wrestling in Mississippi, so we don't really look at Mississippi that much.
Yeah. Yeah, great. Yeah, but I've just been enjoying the content, and anybody else that's out there looking at this video today, and that you like to do an interview, just reach out to Chris or myself, and we're happy to have you on. And we want to talk about, we're here for it. That's my proposal for you guys.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good. Anything else you want to share with the kids or the audience?
Yeah, just continue to do something every day. I know it's tough without having a regular battle rhythm or schedule. But just continue to do something every day. If it's just pulling out some cones, a ladder, jogging around your neighborhood, joining a some type of workout group. Just make sure you're doing something every day, and that will help you when you do start competing this fall or next spring or whenever we decide to kick this thing back up. So just keep grinding, keep working hard, reach out, ask questions, look at Flow Wrestling, look at some videos.
Big matches coming up tomorrow night.
Yeah. Hopefully we can get in here and take a look at them.
Yeah, I might have a mini flow party. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
See if it's working for me this time. I don't know.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, no, that's all I got.
Okay.
Look forward to getting back on the mat.
It was great catching up. Certainly, whenever we have permission to get back on the mat, we'll be there, and maybe a little bit before.
Yeah.
But it was great catching up. I know the AWC TV thing, I really enjoyed it. Like I said, when you threw out the idea, I was like, I don't know if that's going to work, but here I am doing all this talking. I'm usually the quiet one.
Oh yeah, man, you got a new job now.
I've really enjoyed it. And it's good perspective too when you get to hear the kids talk.
Yeah.
And outside of the practice room and outside of a competition where they're relaxed and comfortable, and they could say, well, you know what, Coach, I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Or, hey, your practice plan, we bounce around a lot. Okay, yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
We can fix that stuff.
Yeah. Normally they just show up and we just throw them in the fire. But,
right.
The feedback was good. I think it'll help us all out as coaches, and, the way we approach kids, the way we approach our practice plan, which I think is good. But for some, like you said, we might need to scale it back.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think we'll do the groups a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Knowing what we know now, but that'll make us a little bit better.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I appreciate you keeping this thing going. You've been the workhorse behind coordinating it all and scheduling it and
Just scheduling a meeting. Yeah. Now we got to get a couple more on.
Yeah.
You get some bigger fish later on down the road.
Definitely.
Cool. All right. So that's the end of episode 15.